if you're in your 20s right now, I need you to hear this because I'm 34. I just turned 34 today, actually. And there's some stuff I learned way too late. So don't be me. Things that I wish someone sat me down and said, dude, don't mess this up. Now, I'm not here to preach. I'm not perfect. You guys have watched my channel. You've seen the vulnerability that I expressed to you guys, and I've lived it. I've been through the ringer. And if this hits you at the right time, it could change the whole course of your life. So let's lock it in. I remember being 25 years old. I was working a job I didn't care about. I was going to the gym, sure, checks in the boxes, but no real direction. You know, I was spending money like I had it, just racking up all kinds of credit card debt, dating people I didn't actually like. And I find myself just, scrolling at night, doom scrolling, hooked on porn to just numb it out. Actually was living in Florida at the time. I was in the Marine Corps straight out of high school. I did 4 years in, and then I lived in a state that I didn't even want to live in because of the girl that I was with at the time. And then I ended up moving to Florida. Basically, at the time when I was in Florida, I was working a security job overnight, and I had a lot of time to reflect. I was working from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. when I was in school full time. And it was just, it was one of those things where I had a lot of time to think about my life. And then I ended up moving back to Georgia, actually where I'm from, and I hit a point where I was fed up with my physique. I was fed up with my financial situation, and I knew that I had to change something. I literally looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, who is this? Is this it right here? I had let my discipline slip. I had let a lot of things in my life slip, but it was at the beginning of 2019 when I just said, enough is enough. I've got to lock in. I've got to get things, I've got to get things together, or else I'm going to be going down this slippery slope, because it's a slippery slope, right? That's what it is. Like, I knew I had all this potential in me, but I was wasting it trying to look like I was doing okay, And aside from this moment that I described, there wasn't any other kind of a breakthrough moment. It was more quiet. It was a slow build up. It was subtle, but it was enough, right? And I said, fuck this. Like, I'm done drifting, and slowly, painfully, little by little, I started building something real. Now, this video is for the version of me back then, and maybe it's for you right now. The first thing is invest in yourself, bro, early and often. Not clothes, not cars, not women. You, your brain, your mindset, your habits, your skill sets, right? Not to say that, getting clothes that make you feel confident and look good isn't a good investment, because it is sometimes, right? Now, I'm the guy who will do a wardrobe overhaul once every 5 years, typically. I don't care about a lot of the trends, really. I don't try to keep up with all that. I just know how to dress myself, and that's really all that matters. People that care about the brands and what you wear, what kind of car you drive, you don't want to be around those types of people who only care about that stuff, right? But start now. Start now investing in yourself as a person, because everything compounds over time. Every book you read, every new skill, every tough habit that you lock in that most people aren't willing to do, that's future-proofing your life, right? It's there's a really great book by a guy named Darren Hardy. It's called The Compound Effect. And I highly recommend reading it. There's a lot of great books I could recommend. The second thing is, don't rush it just to feel ahead, okay? Everyone's sprinting these days. Everyone's trying to sprint to the finish line, trying to sprint to figure it out, trying to sprint to marriage, their career, house, kids. And most of them end up miserable because they rush decisions trying to impress people, or because it's what they thought someone else wanted, but it's that's not living life for yourself, that's living life for someone else. Slow down. Make moves that actually align with your life, not what looks good on Instagram. Okay. Now, my next point is massive, and you can't miss it. Audit your circle. Some of the guys that you hang with right now, they're anchors, okay, or crabs in a bucket mentality, right? Not teammates. It's real simple. If they're not helping you grow in your life, they're holding you back, okay, because we're trying to level up, right? You don't have to hate them. It doesn't have to be this whole dramatic, blow up or anything like that, right? But you do have to distance yourself from people that aren't aligned with where you're heading if you want to level up in your life and continue rising. And man, learn how money works too. I didn't really have anyone to teach me growing up. My dad wasn't good with his finances, and I had to figure it out myself and learn the hard way. That's how I've had to do a lot of things in my life. Now, you guys can use AI, ChatGPT to be your financial advisor these days. Like, it couldn't be easier to get this stuff sorted out, right? But, credit cards, investments, saving, budgeting, learn that shit, right? Don't get caught flexing a lifestyle you can't afford. It's not worth it, and no one gives a shit anyway. You try so hard to impress people that don't even give a shit at the end of the day, okay? Discipline now equals freedom later. Remember that. And, delayed gratification as well. It's such a valuable thing to be able to apply that delayed gratification, okay? Freedom over flexing, right? Now, the fifth thing is one of the most important of all. Get your health locked in. I don't care how busy you are with your life. Everybody has the same amount of time in the day. If your body's falling apart, your whole life will fall apart too. Eat real food, okay? Get sleep, get plenty of sleep, drink water, move every day, exercise, okay? You don't need to be perfect. You don't have to be in the gym for even an hour and a half, 2 hours a day. Even an hour, you can get a really good workout in for 30 minutes a day. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. That's the thing with everything in life, with your health, with your business, everything. Now, another point I want to hit on is stop looking for comfort. You guys out here trying to find comfort, trying to go the easy route. Stop looking for comfort. Comfort zones don't just slow you down, they kill your drive. And every time you choose what's easy, you lose a piece of who you could have been. Do hard things. Wake up early. Face the things you've been avoiding. Comfort is where potential goes to die. Okay? And the reality about life is you're never done growing, right? Think about it. There's no finish line. There's no, I made it. That day never really comes, right? That moment never comes. I made it. And the second you think that you've arrived, life will humble you real quick. Fall in love with the process, man. That's where the juice is. That's what life is all about, right? Because it's the journey of life, right? It's not the destination. There's never a destination. We always think that but we're always raising the bar. The destination is the journey. All right, number 8 here is I want you to stop comparing your life to everyone else, bro. Comparison is the thief of joy. Everyone's timeline is different, right? Some dudes peak early, some build slow. If you keep watching other people's highlight reels and trying to compare your story to theirs, you'll start thinking you're behind when you're not. Now, social media has done a really great job about making everyone feel like they're behind. Except for Gary Vee. Shout out to Gary Vee. He's like, you're 35. It's not too late. You're 45. You got time. You're 55. You got time. But we need to be moving with intention, but also understand that your story is different from someone else's. Your life is different from someone else's. You're on a different timeline. So stop comparing yourself to people. I think it's valuable that you can use other people that are doing maybe what you want to do, and you can use them as a success marker, like for you to pick up the pace, right? To hold yourself accountable, but stop comparing yourself and beating yourself up, okay? Put your head down, build your path. That's all that matters. You can't compare your life and story to someone else's because it's a different book. And your life is like a book with different chapters and different times, right? Now, the next thing is you got to cut all the abusive dopamine highs, right? All the vices and short-term pleasure. Don't waste your 20s chasing highs and chasing these 304s and partying every weekend and blowing money and all kinds of other stuff, right? I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not saying to not go out and live your life, right? But if all you're doing is partying and you're smoking, chasing women, living for the weekends, scrolling, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to catch up on you. Have fun, sure, but build something too, okay? Because so many guys that I talk to, they struggle with not feeling happy. They feel lost, like they're just drifting through life, right? Well, you need purpose. You need fulfillment. You need a mission. That's what makes guys happy at the end of the day. Now, if you can start now, figure that out, you'll thank yourself when you're 30 plus and not starting from zero. Now, I got into corporate sales about 4 years ago, okay? Right when I had just turned 30 when I finished college. It took me 7 years to finish college, by the way. But I got into sales when I was around 30, and I look at some other people that I had known earlier on, and they're much further ahead in their careers because they went into corporate initially and stayed in it for a while. And I found myself comparing myself to them, but I realized, you know what? I had other life experiences that were valuable that shaped me into who I am. And so I am where I am, but I'm just telling you that if you can start early and stick with it, man. Pick something, stick with it, pick a skill set, trade, whatever it is that you want to do, and just get good at it, okay? Now, my 10th point here is you need to see the man in your mirror, then become him. You got to see the man in the mirror and then become him. What do I mean by that, right? You have to be him first. Before the money, before the body, the girl, the success, everything. You have to carry yourself like you're already him. You have to carry yourself like you are him, like you're already there. That's not a delusion. That's alignment. That's visualization. That's manifestation. That's the embodiment. Embody what you want to become. Act like it. Believe it. That is having an unwavering amount of self-belief is what that is. Honestly, to the point where naysayers will doubt you, right? You'll have haters, keyboard warriors, people talking shit about you to your face, behind your back. It will be lonely, I'm telling you. It's not just affirmations. It's how you feel and how you move through life. You'll feel like an outcast. But that's because if you are trying to become exceptional at anything, no matter what it is, you are the exception, right? That's the whole irony of it, isn't it? A lot of people aren't going to understand you if you're trying to break generational curses and try to eventually create generational wealth for yourself and your family. Number 11 is get quiet. Get alone and listen. All the answers that you're looking for, they don't come from noise. They come from stillness. Now, YouTube is great, books are great, podcasts are great, but eventually you have to turn off the noise and listen to yourself, because you can get into this thing where you basically are just consuming, but you haven't had enough time to really process and think about stuff, right? Sometimes you just got to turn off the noise. Be in stillness, be alone, be in your own thoughts. Some of the deepest clarity I've ever gotten came from being completely alone. No phone, no distractions, no music, no nothing. Just me and God. Now, solitude is how you find your direction, right? From your life experiences, and then having solitude to think about and try to connect the dots of your life and process things, right? Because there's so much noise. Everybody has their own opinion. Content creators, authors, people in your life, But you have to be able to hear the voice that whispers your purpose, right? And that's your intuition. That's your inner knowing, your inner compass, rather. It's God, right? Whatever you want to call it. But you're not too late. You're not too far gone. You're in your 20s right now. It's perfect, man. Right now, instead of $1 million, I would trade being 20 again. 34. I would trade being 20 for $1 million with what I know now. Like, dude, you're not too far gone. And even if you've been wasting time, let's say you feel like you've been wasting time. You're here right now. You're here right now watching this. You can stop today. The man you were meant to be, he's still there. He's just buried under the distractions, fear, and old habits. But the fact that you're watching this, bro, right now tells me something. You're ready to wake him up. And don't ask, how long is this going to take? Ask, how far can I go? If this video, man, hit you in some way, drop a comment below. Let me know which part resonated the most. I want to know, because we're a community here at The Ascended Man. It helps me make better content for you guys. I try to read and respond to as many comments as I can. So let me know. Subscribe if you're not already. And if you need help, one-to-one help, whether you're stuck with your purpose, with discipline, with relationships, with your health and fitness, whatever it is, my email is in the video description, and also in my bio. Shoot me an email. We'll set up a one-to-one call, and we'll get a solution for you. Catch you later.